Every winter, this pattern will repeat itself with many people. As the days get shorter, you watch your motivation start to fade. Energy drops, emotions skyrocket and become unstable, the meltdowns increase, and your anxiety spikes. Doctors will call this seasonal affective disorder. They explain how reduced sunlight messes with brain chemistry and tell you to try a light box or add another supplement and prescribe a possible medication perhaps. But here's what they cannot explain. Why do some people handle fall and winter just fine, while others predictably struggle? Why does your child with autism or ADHD get noticeably worse, even with a moderate change in their schedule? Why does one sibling thrive year-round while the other one battles with this seasonal decline? The answer isn't just what happens during seasonal depression. It's about why certain nervous systems don't have the capacity to adapt when the seasons actually change. And that's exactly what we're going to be discussing today. In this video, you're going to learn why seasonal depression isn't all about sunshine deficiency. You're going to learn how the nervous system reserve capacity, or unfortunately the lack thereof it, determines who struggles and who doesn't. We're going to break down this perfect storm that will create this vulnerability early in life. And most importantly, you're going to see how to restore your neurological resistance. This resilience can help your child thrive year-round, where they don't have these episodes of ups and downs just due to environmental fluctuations that are very common. They happen each and every year. What I see in my practice every single fall and winter, the sleep gets worse, the digestive patterns really start to struggle, the behavioral challenges increase, and the meltdowns, they're happening more frequently. This anxiety that seemed manageable in August really starts to become overwhelming by November or December. And it's not a coincidence, it's absolutely not bad luck. People and children with these conditions predictably worsen each winter because their nervous systems are already operating at maximum capacity. When the seasonal transitions arrive, there's simply nothing left in their reserve to allow their bodies to adapt to this environmental fluctuation. And it's very common from what we see in springtime with allergies, where the body's already at its capacity and any sort of fluctuation will throw it into a unfortunate event. Now, this resilience factor is neurologically and nervous system based. Your autonomic nervous system operates like a car, where it has two pedals. One pedal is the gas pedal, and that's sympathetic nervous system. It activates a stress response, whereas the brake pedal is parasympathetic function, and this promotes more rest, recovery, and an emotional balance within the body. A healthy functioning nervous system shifts smoothly between these states, using the gas when challenges arise and engaging the brake to rest, digest, sleep, and maintain a calm environment. It's the ability to transition between both portions of the nervous system which really shows resilience and adaptability. Some nervous systems, though, get stuck with this gas pedal pressed down and the brake pedal is unable to engage. And that's what we call sympathetic dominance. It's not a choice that somebody's making, but it's their nervous system automatically programmed to not respond appropriately. And in order to achieve this balance, you first must identify where this imbalance resides neurologically so that the nervous system can be balanced and stimulated appropriately. Now, the nervous system battery is entering challenges, meaning its reserve capability. And think of it like a smartphone battery. A healthy battery handles regular daily use, plus the high demand activities without any sort of use. And seasonal allergies, seasonal changes require real adaptive processing for the nervous system. It has to adjust its circadian rhythm to its new light patterns. It has to maintain neurotransmitter productions despite this reduced sunshine, and it has to regulate temperature, and it has to support your immune function throughout the cold and flu season when things are coming into the body, agitating its environment. For a nervous system with a healthy balance, these adaptations happen automatically. You don't notice it at all. You're looking forward to the rain, you're looking forward to the sunshine, no big deal. However, you notice shorter days, but you're not feeling overwhelmed. The body's adaptive. For an overwhelmed nervous system, though, it's very different. These seasonal transitions become a breaking point where people can fall into what we call a neurological exhaustion. The key difference is not the seasonal change, but the adaptability that the nervous system should have control of, and it just doesn't. This causes this imbalance, and the cause of it may actually surprise you because a lot of people aren't aware that it's even happening. Now, we look at these accumulative factors and we call it the perfect storm, and it creates vulnerability. And oftentimes for our kiddos, it starts really early at life and even prior to their birth. This neurological vulnerability doesn't start this winter. It's begun much earlier, and often during prenatal development, birth, the first years of life, this is when the body is the most susceptible to interference and damage. And the symptoms aren't always made aware to you when it happens to a young child. So prenatal stress exposes the developing nervous system in utero to have elevated cortisol and stress hormones. And it's essentially programming the system to expect a stressful environment after birth. Then we have birth trauma, things from interventions like C-sections, forceps, vacuum extractions, or even really extended long labors can create physical stress to the upper cervical spine in which the vagus nerve pathway resonates and resides in. Then we can have early childhood stressors, things where the kid's colicky, they have reflux, reoccurring ear infections, the use of antibiotics, and stress to an already vulnerable system. It builds and builds. Antibiotics, we all know, disrupt that gut microbiome, which directly affects the nervous system regulation within the body. Now, as that child grows by age 3 to 7, the diagnostic labels start to emerge, but the nervous system dysfunction was there all along. The signs have just become more obvious as life demands increase. And this seasonal transition exposes that child who's already struggling to an even greater level of an imbalance. So these seasonal struggles aren't about weakness. They're not about bad brain chemistry or even the seasonal shift. They're a sign that the nervous system has lost its reserve capacity and overall resilience. Now, the good news is that the nervous system's designed to heal, recover, and regulate. When people get regular, neurologically focused chiropractic care, the majority of families cannot believe how quickly, within just a few visits, that their recharge in their body and their adaptability starts to improve. They notice immediate changes as this interference is removed, and it allows clarity between the brain and body. Now, if you want your family to stay healthy, energized, and thriving all winter long, I want you to do me a favor. Click on the link in our bio. Send us a DM or schedule an appointment online at Maximize Chiropractic. And let's make sure that this winter is different than other seasonal changes so that you and your family can thrive in this holiday season.